Marvel's Spider-Man is a highly anticipated PlayStation 4 exclusive game that is trying to be just as good as the legendary Spider-Man 2. Released on September 7th, 2018, and being made by Insomniac Games, the hype was over the roof for this Spider-Man game. So, is this a return to form for our web-slinging friend? So I've 100%ed this game and can flat out tell you that this game is a love letter to any Marvel or Spider-Man fan. But it does have a lot of faults. So let's begin with the story. Story. So in a game based on a reading material such as a comic book, it better have a good story. And this story is good, but it does have some issues. Now this will be spoiler free, so I won't say exactly what happens, but the middle act kinda falters and has a predictable twist, which leads to an all-out mad third act. It looks like it's going somewhere good with how Peter balances crime fighting, personal struggles with relationships, and really just his life in general. But a big lull which leads into a somewhat forced third act haunts this game. However, the ending is very emotional and had me holding back tears and excited for the future of Spider-Man games. If it wasn't for that forced feeling transition, this story would be perfect.
Do your thing. Yes!
Presentation. Graphically, this game is great. Some people will say that it's downgraded from the early trailers, but it wasn't. If anything, it improved. The visuals probably won't blow anyone away when web-slinging through the city, but it shines in cutscenes. Mind-blowing facial technology which can make you question if this is a movie or a video game.
Peace. You know what? I think I can make today work. Are you sure? You're here. No moment like the present. Thank you.
Craig? Never mind. We're good.
The sound and attention to detail is huge in this game. If Spider-Man is slinging downtown, he will breathe heavily on a phone call. But if he's standing still, his breathing will be normal. The score is amazing and changes tempo depending on what you're doing. You can see inside windows of buildings, which admittedly isn't perfect, but it's still better than nothing. Matter of fact, it's better than anything we've ever had in an open world game. Speaking of the city, it is alive and amazing. You want to walk around downtown and interact with people? You sure can. Listen to JJ's Anti-Spider-Man podcast. It's perfect and it's hilarious, and will have unique dialogue based on what missions you do, or where you're at on the story.
Mark your calendars, folks, because I'm going to say something you thought you'd never hear. Spider-Man got it right. Does that mean I was wrong about him? Am I apologizing? Hell no. You see, I have it on good authority that he is a regular listener of this program. And now, it makes a lot of sense. He heard what I said. He internalized it. And he learned. He improved himself. And against all odds, he did the right thing. So Spider-Man, you're welcome. However, don't think I'm going to go easy on Spider-Man from here on out. I'll be watching, keeping him Spider-Man since I know you're listening. Imagine my eyes on you everywhere you go. I mean, not like the shower, that would be weird. Or the bathroom. Or let's go to commercial.
Oh, and Spider-Man's quips? Also unique to the situation. The city, while it can be hard to tell where you're at, without the silky smooth maps that is easily manageable with the incredibly smooth menu, it's still amazing to view as you sling from building to building. Want to watch people? You sure can. I remember stopping to take a selfie with the amazing photo mode to attempt to take a photo of everyone exercising in Central Park. The only downside? Loading screens. But with this much attention to detail that is filled with Easter eggs, I don't think a really long loading screen will dock it that much. Gameplay. Unfortunately, this game and every other superhero game from now on has to live in the shadow of the Batman Arkham games. Not necessarily a bad thing, it's just a fact. It is clear that they took some elements from these legendary games. Some is good, some is bad. Really noticeable in combat. An attack button, a dodge button, that really helps. Enemies need to be taken down a certain way. And a meter to fill to do a finisher. Combat feels nice and fast. Occasionally something weird happens, and occasionally the camera goes a little psycho. But there's plenty of moves that are unlockable to keep combat fresh. There's gadgets, but apart from a couple combinations, no real need to use them in combat. I did enjoy attempted challenges for bonus tokens that are needed for new suits and suit mods. Every time you unlock a suit, you unlock a suit power, which is like an ultimate move. They can really help in a battle. Overall though, sorta underwhelming. Only about 2 of them are really useful. The rest are just kinda eh. Suit mods are essentially passive effects. Again, I kinda just use the same 3 or 4, but I feel like these can be intertwined a little bit more than I used them. I just kinda didn't. Combat is good. The stealth though, didn't really feel like stealth. Find someone safe to take down and do a web strike. Stealth was very disappointing. There is these stealth missions with Spider-Man's allies, but apart from one mission, this just kinda sucked. So combat is good, stealth was a little disappointing. Luckily, transportation is absolutely amazing. Every single web around the city is attached, except for combat kicks. You can fling yourself forward, do acrobatic moves between water towers, perch above the Empire State Building, jump off the building, dive bomb, get full speed on a momentum swing, and climb back up the building. Never has anything captured the spirit of Spider-Man so well. There are also plenty of things to do. Take photos, collect backpacks, do Taskmaster challenges, save the day from random crimes, do science projects, help science research, side missions, collect pigeons? Some of these are kinda weird. I enjoyed a lot of the research project missions, as a lot of them played with the mechanics of the game. The Taskmaster challenges were kinda cheesy, and the drone chase scenes were just not good. The science project stuff were okay, but it was only a minigame. The crimes repeat themselves a lot, but they were enough to where it didn't get too stale. There is a huge difficulty spike late in the game where it just suddenly decides to go ahead and throw everything at you. Not the best difficulty curve in the game, and the main story bosses, while cool to see who they are, mainly feel forced and are just not very good. There was a side mission boss I liked, however. Overall, combat is good, stealth doesn't feel like stealth, navigation is tremendous, and there is plenty of content to keep you busy. Conclusion. Overall, Insomniac's Marvel's Spider-Man on PlayStation 4 is a fantastic game. Not the best superhero game ever. Not even the best on PlayStation 4 in my opinion. But it has set the seed for the future of what will most likely be an amazing franchise. I give Spider-Man an 8.4 out of 10. Thanks to anybody who watched this. Like and subscribe for more. Hopefully the next review will be of Red Dead Redemption 2. 12 days? Wow, that's coming up real quick. Till then, why don't you comment about what you thought of Spider-Man on the PlayStation 4? Thank you all again for watching. Till next time.